And with that, shut down your advisors, O2 on, and prepare for ignition, 202. Copy that, and initiating a full 10-4-4.
Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul, Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now, from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength. Not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory. We give you peace. We give you honor. We give you blessing. We give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you. The fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name. Ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty. It's yours. I decree it and I speak it. In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen. Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to another edition of Yes You O Cubed. What does that stand for? One-on-one, because it's just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I'm just so happy to have you here on this fine day. I had to think what day it was. This is Thursday, y'all. It's Thursday, the day before Friday Eve, September the 8th in the year 2022. And I tell you what, it's a good day to be alive. It's an awesome day to be alive. It's a marvelous day to be alive. I'm so glad that you joined us here on this fine day. Well, I see our chat is back. That's what I was working on, trying to get that going. And so I'm feeling a little accomplished this morning already. I see the chat over there to the side, and it's good to be able to see on screen what you all are sharing with one another. So at the end of the day, I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Yes, we're praying for Twana. She's having some special things going on today, and we're just going to lift her in our prayers. And we know God is with her. I have talked with her. She's doing just marvelously. But thank you for that, Mel. We are definitely praying for and with her on this fine day. And thank you. But please be at peace. She is well. All is well. And listen, we're looking for miracles, signs and wonders working and operating in her life on today. All right. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And prayers going up, prayers going up, prayers going up. Now, let's get this party started. Let's get this party crack-a-lacking on this fine day. I tell you, it's another day's journey, and I'm glad about it. Let's go over here and look and see who's in the VIP section this morning. Cheerings, it's always good to see who's coming in and who's bringing all the love, joy, peace, soul, and happiness into the Lion's Den to make sure we're good and ready every morning when we come in. Now, I'm looking and I see 4 that came in this morning. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yes, 4. And the first of those being none other than the head usher, or I'm saying the fourth of those being the head usher that came in to make sure the Lion's Den was ready and prepared for everybody this morning. Thank you so much, Miss Fabulous, otherwise known as Mel Holiday. I appreciate you for being in the VIP section this morning to bring all of the love to the good people. Now, the third person that came in the Lion's Den on this morning was none other than all the way from the UK, Den Darn. Thank you so much, dear. I see you coming in, bringing in prayers, anchoring us down, hugs, love, all of the royalty that you can bring into the room. I appreciate you for that. I absolutely positively do. Thank you, Den Darn. Go ahead and sit down on that love seat right over there. And the person that's going to sit right next to you is none other than Shelly Thunder. Shelly Thunder, go ahead and squeeze your lips, hips, and fingertips right next to Den Darn over there on that love seat. Go ahead over there, sis, and have a seat. I'm so happy for you, and thank you for bringing that love, peace, joy, and happiness into the Lion's Den this morning. I appreciate you. Now, the winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair, and listen, let me tell you, both of they were coming in at 12 on the 00. Not 1201, not 1202, not 1203. These are 12 on the 00. So understand, Shelly Thunder just missed by just milliseconds here. Milliseconds. These ladies came in here bright and early at the 12 o'clock before it turned to 1201. The winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair is none other than Kim Possible. Girl, you did that. Kim Possible, you are the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair. Get your lips, your hips, and your fingertips over there, sis. You did that. Yes, that's the pastor from the ATL. Come on, sis. Get in that seat and sit down. That chair is yours this morning. That chair is yours. Thank you so much for coming in. As I said, they were all on the 1200. They were not playing up in him. They were doing that thing
And I appreciate you. That's how we bring the love. That's how we make sure there's plenty of it here when you all come in the morning. Thank you, Pastor, from the ATL. Now, while I got her up, let me just go ahead and mention she comes in tomorrow along with Crazy Berrytown at 12 o'clock high noon right here in this channel for Good Grief. They do a beautiful job of offering a space, a safe space to heal as you go through the journey of grief. She will be here tomorrow at 12 noon along with Crazy Berrytown. Appreciate those beautiful ladies. Now, as we get ready to get started, you know we like to also give appreciation to our awesome and phenomenal moderators. So go ahead and get that love out. Get that mod love out. I appreciate you. I want to thank God for these ladies because they are just phenomenal. Shelly Thunder. That's the prophetess, and she comes in, y'all. She comes in bringing it. She comes in bringing it, and I appreciate her. That's why I call her the prophetess. That thunderclap is loose everywhere, and she tells the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. I appreciate you, Shelly Thunder. Now we're led by the leader of the pack, none other than the Rebel Inc., and she's out in the streets this morning in her rebellies. She's already out in the streets in her rebellies, going to and fro, seeking what pizza she might devour. Yes, she's out there, y'all. She's out there in her rebellies, going to and fro in the Dallas streets, seeking what pizza she might devour. Y'all pray for her, saints. Pray for her. I heard, matter of fact, the funeral, there will be a funeral service that's coming up soon and very soon for that computer that we laid the rest on yesterday. But she done went out, and while she was out in her rebellies, she dug them bones up to that computer, and she's going to have a funeral her way. So listen, she definitely wanted Dr. Dady Priest to be able to have her remarks on the program. And Dr. Dady got up giving honor to God. As she rose from her chair, she's gonna get an opportunity to give all of that at the actual funeral that is being put together by the Rebel Inc. So y'all come back for the real funeral. She said the funeral will be televised. That funeral will be televised. Yes, then darn, it will be televised so you can see it. So listen, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Rebel said they still selling chicken dinners. They couldn't finish it up because they still selling chicken dinners. So I understand the dilemma that you're in. So there you have it. There you have it. There you have it. So keep your ears and your eyes open and stay tuned to station identification because there will be an official funeral going on. That's why she's in her rebellions in the streets, still going to and fro in the earth, seeking what pizza she may devour and selling those chicken dinners. Now, the third one in the Lion's Den that makes up this beautiful, beautiful blessed trinity, Michelle Brownell. That's my girl. That is my girl. She's my quiet storm. She changes the atmosphere just by being in the midst. Yes, she does. And I tell you what, these three beautiful ladies, and they listen, not only do they take care of the Lion's Den, but they check in on your STL. They check in on me. They make sure I'm doing well. They send me information. They send me videos of encouragement. They just, listen, they're beautiful ladies, and I want that mod love going up because they are truly worthy of all of that and then some. Now, as we get ready to move right on, y'all, I want to go ahead, and this morning I missed y'all on yesterday because we got so caught up. We were so overcome with emotion in the passing of that computer. Yes, Pewter. We were caught up with Pewter. And so we missed saying good morning to everybody. But this morning, I definitely want you to get your coffee cups out, and we're going to say, and we're going to speak, as my mother said, when you come in the room, speak to somebody. So we're going to speak to y'all this morning, and I want to make sure not to miss that. because you are special to me. As I said, you guys are my chosen Lion Den family, and you're just beautiful people, and I love you so much. And I like to just come around and share my love with you the same way you share your love with me, being here in this stream. And so good morning, Mel Holiday. I see you out there, sis. Come on in the room. Den Darn, I see you, my friend. Mad love to you. Not your average guy. Happy Friday Eve to you, sir, and thank you for being in the room. To the high priestess, Dr. Dady Priest. Dr. Dady Priest is a streamer, you all, and I want you all to follow her. And if you're not following her, quit your wicked ways. Yes, I said it. Quit your wicked ways, because she will bless your whole life. I said it on yesterday. I want to say it again. It's such a blessing to have this kind of blessing out here in the Twitch streets, because the stuff that she shares and the knowledge that she drops, I'm telling you, you would pay big money for this if you were to actually go someplace and watch and share and listen to her if she did this in the corporate arena. So don't miss this blessing, y'all. Go out there and follow her. She will bless your whole entire life. Thank you for being here this morning, Dr. Dady, and I appreciate you. Then one of her moderators is right here, and my dearest friend, none other than Fairly All Day. This right here, I'm telling you, she's a whole vibe, a whole blessing, all that in a bag of chips. Now you see why Engagement Matters is off the chain. Not only is the streamer, but the mods, the whole house of Engagement Matters is serious. A double spirit, yes, I call her my double portion. She's not here, but I'm telling you, these ladies do a phenomenal job over there in Engagement Matters. Fairly All Day, you know I love me some you. I love me some you. I love me some you. Good morning to you. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking and I'm checking out who else is in the room this morning. And I thank God for MCP812. Come on in the room. So much mad love to you, my friend. Thank you for being here on this morning. That's my cousin, sister cousin, all of that, and my pastor too. Cassandra Woke 2022, come on in the room. So much mad love coming to you. I appreciate you. The Lions Den is glad to have you every time you show up. The Rebel Inc., good morning, peepers of the den. Did you hear her? Peepers of the den. The Rebel Inc., if you're not following her, for sure, quit your wicked ways, because she's going to bless your whole life every time you go into the Lions Den. Jennifer, she is a streamer, you all. Good morning. You think this girl right here is up for a breakfast sometime soon? You running on fumes? Girl, you better get you some food. You can't run on fumes, baby. You can't run on. You need some sustenance. You need some food down in your belly. Please go get you something to eat before you fall out. But thank you for being here as you get your food together. Not your average guy. Come on in here, my friend, and so much love to you. And thank you for being in the Lions Den this morning. Nothing but love for you, sir. Nothing but love. The Gift, Nathan Lamont. That's my squalling baby. And all I need from you, Nate, one good squall. The Gift. He is the gift, the whole gift, and nothing but the gift. Come on up in here, and good morning to you, and I just want you to holler. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking, and Tall Pumps is pumping tall. Good morning to you, Tall Pumps. I see you in the room, and so much mad love to you. She is the moderator over there in Woman Unsilenced. And listen, that ministry that's going on is phenomenal as well. If you're not following Woman Unsilenced, please go out there, click that button, hit the bell so you can get the notifications. And every chance you get, you check them out, because they're going to bless your whole life. Tall Pumps, I appreciate you this morning. And you my girl. So glad to see you here. Stacy 546, my sister in blue and my friend till the end. Come on in here, sis. I see you, and mad love to you this morning. So glad to have you in the midst. Come on. Kai Chick. There she is, y'all. That's my evangelist of the Lion's Den. She's up in here, and I appreciate you for being here in the midst of the people. You're such a blessing. Good morning to you. Truck driver. Yes, that's my Mufasa, y'all. The Lion King is in the room, and he's roaring, y'all. He's roaring. I appreciate you, my friend, and please be safe out there on the highways. And I appreciate your service in making sure we get the goods that we need from point A to point B. Do your thing, sir. Do your thing, and be safe while you're doing it. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking to see if anybody else came in the basement while I was upstairs. Looking and I'm booking and I'm checking it out. And I'm seeing, I'm looking for a miracle too. But listen, I'm looking to see who else came in the Lion's Den this morning and check you out and give you some love and say thank you for being here in the Lion's Den. Teresa Jones, good morning to you, my friend. And I saw, I'm going to talk about that. I saw that article that you gave to me, sis. Good morning. She's my 411 Connect, y'all. She's my 411 Connect. If anything in the way of information and data was going to slip through the cracks, Teresa Jones keeps me informed, and I appreciate. She's my sister for real, y'all. I appreciate her. We not blood, but listen, there are things that there's a love that's so much deeper and just as powerful as DNA. That would be Teresa Jones to me this morning. Good morning, sis. Coming on down, and I saw Kim Possible. Come on in the room, sis, and it's so good to see you, my friend. Mad love to you, my pastor from the ATL. And yes, you were the winner of Grandpa Holmes's chair, and I appreciate you for coming in so early. I appreciate you. Tall Pumps, you know I'm going to always give Woman Unsilenced. I love her. I love you. I love what you guys are doing. And anytime I find something good, I try to pass it on to the peepers, as Rebel would say. To the peepers, to the peoples. Crazy Berrytown. There's my beautiful friend. She will Zumba you to Zion today at 12 o'clock Eastern time, my friends. 12 o'clock Eastern time. I want you to go into Crazy Berrytown, get you some Zumba at 12 o'clock today, on today. And again, that's Eastern time. If you're not following Crazy Berrytown, quit your wicked ways. And you might just get a selection from her. You just never know what you're going to get with Crazy Berrytown. You just never know. Is it going to be the flute? Is it going to be the microphone? Is it going to be Zumba? Is it going to be sip and chat? You don't know till you get there. But please go and check her out. She going to bless your whole life. I promise you she will. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking. And again, I spoke on it earlier, but I want to reiterate 12 o'clock tomorrow. In this station, you will be able to see both Crazy Berrytown and Kim Possible 7-Eleven in good grief. And anybody that's on the journey of grief, it's going to bless your life. I promise you it will. Now, there we go. I think we've got everybody that's in the Lion's Den in my chat. And to those of you that are not in my chat, it's okay. There's no negativity for not being in the chat in the Lion's Den. There's no negative there. I just appreciate the fact that you're here holding space and giving love. For those that might be working and lurking, I appreciate you as well. And I'm surprised from time to time when I get off the stream and people will whisper me and speak to something that was said in the stream, and I don't even know that they were here or that they've been here. So I want to say I appreciate you. Again, you may not be in the chat, but you're here. And I want to say thank you to you, every last one of you. Now, let's get this party started. Let's get this party crack-a-lacking, because y'all, cheerings. If you don't know, there was a horrendous night. I just don't even know what to say. I want to start with something. Thank y'all for hosting while you can, because I heard it through the grapevine that come October, early October, there will be no more hosting capabilities. So please host it while you can. To those that have hosted during this time of being able to host, I want to thank you and I want to appreciate you. I really do. I want to appreciate each of you for hosting. But yes, as Kim Possible say, host while you can, because you may not have a chance anymore. All right, now, Y'all, I don't know. This is the section where we come in. Get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out. Get your coffee cups out. Because this stream today, Lord help this stream today. Because I need to talk about some things that happened. What had happened was, while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered, what had happened was, ooh, yes, pewter for good grief. Come on in here, Tom Pumps. It was reported to you that they're taking up collection for pewter at Good Grief. You got 5 on it. Listen, I'm here to tell you, yes, yes, and yes again. We got to GoFundMe, and it's ready for anybody that wants to contribute. Because, honey, we don't y'all know. Let me tell you what, we need rebel in these streets. In these last and evil days, we need rebel in these streets in these last and evil days. So Lord help, we want her back. Shelly Thunder, I hear up above my head, I hear thunder in the air, and there's truly a Shelly Thunder somewhere. Come on in here, sis, and mad love to you. That's the prophetess right there. Now listen, I'm gonna start with something positive. News from viewers. I'm gonna start right there because you know what? T Summers put some stuff in yesterday, and I just, cause baby, when I tell you that last night was some kind of night, it really, really was. And so I want to start with News for Views. Let me get over to that channel and pull that up. News for Views. I appreciate you, T Summers, and for all of you that put news out there for us to share. Yes, now you all know that typically, and it's not going to let me do it because it's in New York Times. So at the end of the day, I'm going to have to come out of that one. But I do want to say the story that she put up, the unveiling of former President Barack Obama and his beautiful wife, Michelle Obama. You know, that should, let me go ahead and give some applause for that. Now, as is customary, it should have been that the outgoing president and his wife's portrait would have been revealed and unveiled in that of the following presidency. Now, y'all know we had a problem with the orange apparition, so that did not happen. So here we are in a delayed kind of way where, we did get it done. We had to wait until President Joe Biden was in office so that we could go ahead and follow the protocol and give them the due respect that they deserve. So I'm going to applaud for them one more time because they deserve the respect. They deserve the respect, y'all. They do. So at end of day, they finally were able to have the unveiling that should have been done years ago. So as T Summers put out here, and again, thank you, T, in your absence, giving honor to God, to the pastor, and all of those in their absence. I just want to appreciate you, T. Definitely, I am grateful for the speech that Michelle Obama gave. And she said it was never meant that she would have a picture and a portrait hung with Dolly Madison. It was never dreamed that she would have a portrait done and presented with Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis. So at the end of the day, it is that appreciation to the progress. Now, obviously, y'all know we still have a long way to go. But as we talk and as we share together, listen, you had to wait for Hitler to leave, Stacey. We had to wait for him to get out of office so that we could do the right thing. I enjoyed, as I always do. The one thing I want to say, people can judge their administration, President Obama, one way or the other. I'm not here for all of that, this one way or the other. The one thing I do want to say is that at the end of the day, when you talk about class, that's the Obamas. When you talk about, dignity, that's the Obamas. When you talk about respect, that's the Obamas. And whether or not, he got it right or wrong, and nobody gets everything right, nobody gets everything wrong. So let's be truthful to that as well. Even to the worst, nobody gets, 45. Anyway, they were the epitome of so much class. I want to give it up. I just want to give it up. Very eloquent speeches for anyone that had the opportunity to hear the clips and the snippets that they put up, but always a class act. Always a class act. And this is how we do it. This is how we do it. Now, unfortunately, I got some stories to tell further on down the road today that are going to really kind of rock your world. There you go, Cassandra. I see you, Den Darn. I see you all. I see you, Tall Pumps. It's a beautiful thing when you don't have to hang your head, especially, and I don't know, maybe it still speaks to how far down we've been pushed and how we're always often in this country underrated and, whatever can be done to make it seem and sound like black people and people of color are just the lowest of the low. There's that in me that I always love the opportunities to pop my collar, stick out my chest, hold my head up high, and say, hey, we represent. And so I have to say, in all that they've done and in all that they've been in this country, I feel good. I feel good because truly, 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 they represent and have represented. And I just wanted to start with that this morning before we go any farther, because that is some good news and that was some good stuff this morning. So there you go. Now, the other good thing that T. Summers put in, and I won't be able to do that one either because it's New York Times. The other thing that she also acknowledged was that they're throwing out all of the 378 cases in Brooklyn, 378 cases, low-level drug and traffic offenses. They're coming back and they're throwing that stuff out, which, at the end of the day, they should have from the very beginning, never should have been in there. And again, dealing with this whole issue of any kind of way to create some kind of criminality where black people are concerned in a disproportionate way, to now come back and begin to have that thrown out. I think that's a marvelous thing. Now, I'm going to take that. And again, that came from T. Summers in News from Views. I'm going to take that and I want to segue, if I might, into the conversation and the post that was sent to me by Teresa Jones, and that is dealing with, and I'm trying to get to it real quick, fast and in a hurry here, that is dealing with the idea there was a sister that was convicted during the protests, and my sister, as she was convicted during the protests, ended up being put in jail. Now, this is the thing, Brittany Martin, and I wanted to try to get her name and get that, and hold on just a second. I'm waiting for that to queue up so I can show you who she is. Now, this young lady right here, if you don't know about her story, and the thing that kind of really ticks me off about this T. Jones, Teresa, is this pregnant black woman serving 4 years for protest comments will have her sentence reconsidered. Now, the thing that ticks me off is January 6th insurrection. This woman during the protest was said to have said some things to the police officers that got her some jail time. and she's serving 4 years for those protest comments. And now we're at the point where we're saying, okay, maybe. But I do want to say, and this was during the social racial injustice protests that were going on. So I do want to say this. And I do want to highlight this. Why should this even be an issue when you got people from the January 6th insurrection that are still out here walking around footloose and fancy free, and have done or have experienced very little repercussions for their actions? 4 forking years, Stacey, 4 forking years for making comments to the popo, you know. And I do want to deal with this idea that at the end of the day, I'm not saying go out here and verbally abuse, physically abuse, or abuse our police officers in any way, shape, or form. Absolutely not. But at the end of the day, the reality that it seems like these police officers feel like if you don't do the command that I tell you to do right when I tell you to do it, if you don't do it how I told you to do it, it's like this ego trip that these police officers go on. It's like, listen, you're the police. It goes along with the territory of your job. Now, again, I'm not saying go out here and verbally abuse or whatever. But at the end of the day, I'd really like to hear the comments that she made, because she probably told the truth and somebody got mad. So I'm addressing this idea that for comments that you're making to the popo, you end up doing jail time, 4 years. That's a long time. But you got a police officer that was killed January the 6th. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? They killed somebody. Now, we're talking about words versus somebody being killed. We're talking about words, and we saw the violence that they were inflicting upon those officers that were trying to keep the peace and hold them at bay on January 6th. But this black woman has 4 years for her comments. And that's what I'm trying to underscore here. Comments. Are comments so terrible? And you know, it almost takes me back to the childhood rhyme that we used to say, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Well, baby, words hurt the popo, obviously. Words hurt the popo. They can't take it. And I'm like, but babies, this goes along with the territory. What are you doing? What in the world are you doing? So at the end of the day, you know, I'm just like, I just can't. And we see the disparity, we see the inequities, and we just keep on keeping on as if this is the way it's supposed to be. No, it's not. No, it is not. So, and if memory serves me correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, Teresa, if I believe the reason why they're considering reducing the reduction is because she's having complications with the pregnancy. I feel absolutely darn. We're talking about an abuse of power. I believe she's having difficulties with the pregnancy. With good morning, Michelle Brownell. Come on in the lion's den and roar righteously. It's good to see you, sis. That's my quiet storm. So, you know, I'm like, really, and should we be imprisoned for comments, not actions? And again, I'm going to remind us, police officers lost their lives in January 6th. We're talking about comments. Doesn't that go with the territory? And okay, maybe you say no, STL, that it just shouldn't be, period. But I don't know. There's something down in my shondo that says at the end of the day, if you're just talking about some mere words, what happened to the childhood? Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Are you really that devastated by some words? She probably told somebody they had a little peen, and somebody else that they had short, weak men complex, and somebody got mad because it was the truth. I'm just saying, what are we doing here? What are we doing? I didn't care if your little thing was curved. Listen, is that enough to go to jail over. I'm just saying, this is just crazy. Good morning, BTD mom. Come on in the Lions Den. It's good to see you. The rules are not the same, Kim Possible 711, for black people versus white people. And at the end of the day, if we speak out on anything, we go to jail or worse. If they kill people, they go to McDonald's and maybe they might go to jail. Make that make sense. There's no sense to be made of it, Kim Possible. There's no sense to be made of it. So at the end of the day, thank you for shooting that over to me, Teresa Jones. I tell you, it's just egregious. It's just egregious. And why do I talk on things like that? Because I'm constantly trying to make us aware of the disparity that continues to exist within the United States of America between those that have highly melanated skin and those that do not. And you can talk till you're blue in the face. That's just perceived. Why does everything have to be about race? Everything is not about race. But 99 and 99, 100%, how about that? In this country, it's going to be about race. It's going to be about the color of your skin, because we still have that influence of racist, white supremacy, bigoted, entitled. And I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. And if you could just live one day in black skin, you would know this is not a made up perception. This is reality. So they really wanted her to have her child in jail to be a statistic. Then darn, that's a whole nother scenario right there. That's a whole nother conversation that needs to be had. We talking facts up in here, nothing but straight up facts. And so, we're going to keep crying loud. We're going to keep sparing not until everybody understands this dilemma that black people and anyone with heavy melanated skin, we're still going through this crap and it needs to stop. And we're going to just keep crying out against it until we get this thing changed. The only way she should be in jail for something she said to a cop is if she said she threatened to unalive that cop and nothing else. OK, if she's threatening their lives and I'm going to kill you and make you, as Stacey said, you about to be unalive up in this piece. That's the only thing. At the end of the day, Stacey, I'm telling you, we've seen the popo in videos just go absolutely ballistic because somebody did not obey a command that they gave, even though the person is saying, but I have a right to. And it's like, listen, I said, like, I am the absolute power. And that's very unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. Come on, Cassandra. Houston, the problems are multiplying and not dying. However, our race just keeps on dying. And these are facts all day long, Teresa and Cassandra. These are facts all day long. Yes, most things are about race, and anyone that tries to say differently is part of that problem. And I agree with you wholeheartedly there, Tall Pumps. Good morning, K2 Hoops. Come on in here. And don't think that I see race behind every little thing, but I just want us to I want you to look clearly. I want you to look clearly and make assessments accordingly. And when the statistics are screaming, and when the manifestation that you see with your eyes, as they want to say, don't believe your lying eyes. My eyes are not lying. I saw what I saw. So there you have it. K2 Hoops, I'm so glad that you're here this morning, and so much mad love coming to you. Come on in the Lions Den, and I'm so happy to see you. Kim Possible, the fact that he was scared of a pregnant woman. Listen. And I'm going to say this. Power hungry white men cannot, and I'm going to say it all caps, bold, italicized. Power hungry white men that are already insecure cannot stand the mouth of a smart black woman. It just takes them over the edge. It just takes them over. They just can't take it. They just can't. It's like anybody can get smart with me, but not no black woman. So there you have it. It is what it is. And I said what I said. And as my uncle said, I'll add to it before I take it back. That's some real talk right there. That's some real talk. So I'm sure sure when he looked, y'all ain't ready for me, but when he looked at her black face and he heard whatever comments that he perceived to be smart mouth or whatever, honey, he just couldn't take it. So, it is what it is. But 4 years, are you kidding me? Anybody in here that thinks 4 years, 4 years. Come on, Dr. Dady. I'm talking about insecure white supremacists, racist men cannot stand for a black woman to tell them nothing. And that's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God. I bet the cops were supporters of who she was voicing her opinion of. And you are absolutely, positively, more than likely correct on that, then darn. Because at the end of the day, come on here. Barbara Hardy, that's my These a Day friend. Come on in the room, my sister. Mad love coming to you. Cassandra Woke, I'm roaring righteously. And baby, I mean to roar, because that story right there is dastardly. And I'm gonna give it to that one, because 4 years she was sentenced to for her mouth and her comments. Could it be? Could it be? The devil. Baby, that ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. That's all that is. That ain't nothing but that old slimy devil. So isn't it interesting that white men seem to lose it when they're being checked by a pregnant black woman? And let's bring in the pregnancy piece, because they're like, oh my God, and another black one's on the way. So, I'm going to tell you, tall pumps, there's a whole lot to be unpacked in that comment right there. I'm going to just leave that right there with what I just said. But you said a whole mouthful. You said a whole mouthful right there. That's why you have, if any of you all get a chance to go out, there's a documentary, and I want to say Michelle Brownell turned me on to it, something about Our Father's House or Our Father's Children or something. Anyway, these white male doctors that are in the reproductive field of gynecology are out here and have been out here inseminating white women without their knowledge, with their seed and their semen, so that they can have more white babies. And I'm not, you can't make this stuff up. Michelle Brownell, if you're still in here, because I know you're working and I know you're lurking and you might even be driving, drop the name of that in there if you can. You saw that, then darn, if you know the name of that, because baby, this, oh my God. And at the end of the day, K2 Hoops, listen, could it be? Could it be? The devil. There's this fear mongering that they're doing among racist white groups, where they're saying we're about to be the minority and we've got to do something about it. So you've got these white doctors that are out here inseminating women, white women who do not know that they're being impregnated by these doctors' seeds, and they're out here impregnating these women's. I felt some Andrew Caldwell right there. Women's. They're out here impregnating these women by the hundreds with their own semen. I watched that story and I'm telling you, it's nasty, Rebel. It's just Our Father. Come on, thank you for that. It's on Netflix. You can't make this stuff up. This is real stuff. This is the idea of them trying to reproduce. And really, if we talk about why are we so upset about a woman's right to her body, they're really not talking about black women. They're really mad at white women, because the highest percentage of people that get abortions are white women. Come on, I wasn't trying to go here, but we're here. The biggest proportion of people that get abortions are white women. So obviously, when they have this fear mongering idea that we're about to be outnumbered by all these other ethnicities and cultures of people, they want every white baby that is popped up in the womb. They want that baby to live. because they're scared about becoming a minority. So this is what, when they talk amongst these groups, and they had somebody that was actually doing video footage that you could actually see these, it's insanity. It's like some form of insanity. Our Father is the name of this that I'm talking about in Netflix. Go out and watch it if you get a chance. It's insane, but there's such a driving insanity that says we're about to be outnumbered, that you, and this is the thing, nobody has been arrested, nobody has had any charges pressed against them, because currently there are no laws on the books that has made them out here impregnating these women. It's not illegal. There's nothing on the books. And that's the other thing. Rest assured that the laws are designed, created, and crafted so that these crafty people can get away with what it is they want to do and say, but I didn't break the law. Whether it's money, financial schemes, whether it's out here impregnating women against their will, whatever it is, these laws are craftily crafted for these crafty people so that they can say, but I didn't break the law. Where's the law? I didn't break the law. But you're nasty. And many of the people that they're impregnating when they're having these are the women that come and are thinking they're getting one treatment and one thing, and the next thing they wake up pregnant with your seed and your sperm. But the spermin is about right, because honey, yes, vermin and sperm all mixed together makes spermin. So at the end of the day, you have not only that, but then the cultish type people that are out here molesting your kids. You out here getting these underage young white females impregnate. Y'all sick. That's some sick stuff. You understand the words of it? That's some sick, nasty stuff. So, I want y'all to be clear. There's a whole lot of mentality, mental illness. Let me just say mental illness that's attached to this kind of behavior. But don't you think it's far and few between? Because baby, when they started showing how this is scattered all across the country, my mouth was hanging open. My mouth was hanging open. That's why the sex trafficking and the kidnapping and all of that is going, baby, and it's bigger than you think. And don't get fooled while you had Jeffrey Epstein and Gazelle out here doing their dirty, dastardly deeds. At the end of the day, there's a whole lot of names on those lists that don't want to be revealed, because it's folks not just at the bottom that you think's in the backwoods. There's a whole lot of people at the top in the penthouse and the White House that's doing some of this nasty, dastardly stuff. So I said what I said, and it's really sad. Diablo doing his dastardly deed, is no respected person, but he seems to dominate us. Listen, that fear mongering, and any way you come with that fear mongering, y'all check it out, because listen, there's something behind it when they try to make you all up in arms. Replacement theory, exactly, tall pumps. That's the concept that's being pushed out here in a lot of these subgroups within the white communities of replacement theory and replacers, and they doing some crazy stuff. That's all I can say about that. Stacey, it is disgusting. It's disgusting. And when you see these young girls that they're getting, these teenage girls, it's some nasty stuff going on out here, and it's a whole lot of it. Don't fool yourself. It's a whole lot of it. And they got away with it, Michelle Brownell. That's the thing. They got away with it because it wasn't rape. There's nothing on the books that said what they did was illegal. And so they're using that little loophole. But all day long, Michelle, you can say it wasn't rape. But if you are forcing yourself, even though I may be under the influence because you're giving me some kind of sedative for a treatment or whatever, if I did not consent to you putting your sperm in my body, it's rape to me. Whenever you get done, I don't care if it was a syringe that popped it up in there, it's rape. However, according to the technicality of the books, these people are not going to jail, even though it's known and understood this is what they're doing. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. With that info, the change in the abortion laws makes it, absolutely, Kim Possible. Because listen, and this is the thing, they try to go and couch it between this and that and the other. But the reality of it is, it's white women that are the largest number of your abortion getters. And with the replacement theory issue that they are insanely driven by in this fear mongering, we're about to be replaced. They don't want to lose not one white baby, not one. So don't fool yourself. Y'all read between the lines, read between the lines. Don't fall for everything that they're telling you. Read between the lines. And that's not no conspiracy theory. That's some fact right there. And so that's the main reason that they've overturned Roe versus Wade. So there you go. Now, there's Asian women trying to get rid of the white race. They're getting themselves pregnant on purpose to depopulate the white race. You think you saw that on TikTok. You know, then darn, I'm telling you, all of this, at the end of the day, I just want folks to think about, why are we getting pregnant? What are we doing? And anything that's outside of the construct of love, for me, it's the wrong reason. And that goes along for, because I'm gonna bring this all the way across the board. We're living in a day and a time now where I've seen young black women that are trying to get themselves impregnated by a good, upstanding black guy so that they can have somebody to support them and their children for the rest of their lives. So, I'm telling you, whether it's entrapment, any kind of racial dynamic that's involved, I'm not, at the end of the day, any of this trying to get pregnant outside of for any ulterior motive, miss me with that. Just miss me with that. So rape on display is what it is, Gift. That's exactly what it is. You don't appreciate spell check right now. Diablo is not a respecter of persons. Cassandra, it won't let you be great because the white guys that would be charging them and stopping it don't want it stopped. And that's exactly right, Stacy. You're exactly right about that. And yes, Rebel, I see you. It's nasty with all of them N's and all them A's and all those S's, T's, and Y's. It's nasty. And it's really disgusting. But this is some real stuff going on, y'all. This is real stuff. But we yet crucifying R. Kelly while the pink peoples walk. Rebels in your rebellies. Child trafficking is a huge issue that our government doesn't only ignore, but partakes in. And not your average guy, you ain't lying. If only people really knew what was going on. I agree 100%. And not your average guy, I always have to come back, and I'm sure he's not the only one. He's the one that got caught. I always go back to Jeffrey Epstein. How this man was a criminal from day one. He did not have any kind of upstanding career anywhere that he went in the corporate arena, but how he suddenly and mysteriously came into all this money and came into all this wealth and affluence, came into it at a level that even when some of the young ladies, some of these underage ladies that tried to prosecute him, the charges just disappeared into thin air, Why? Because the people that he has and was servicing were people of means and people of affluence and people in government positions. So, this is not y'all, and this is why they like to talk about fake news, because fake news allows you to question whether or not the stories that you're being told, is that fake news or is that the truth? Is that fake news or is that the truth? That's why they push this narrative of fake news and then do create fake news so that when the public hears of different tidbits of information, there's that question mark in your mind. Did that really happen or is that fake news? But baby, understand fake news was created to cover up real news. Let's be clear on that. Fake news was created to cover up real news. And this is real news. Exactly. It's a distraction. So, news flash. Apparently the queen is dying. Okay, keep me updated then, darn. I don't have that on my radar and I'm not in my immediate, she came out the other day for your new prime minister. And she had not been seen since forever. But keep us posted on that, Den Darn. Keep us posted. Den Darn is a resident of England. She is in the UK, and I'm sure this is a big deal for you all if that is a fact. Let me come over here and doctors concerned. Okay, so doctors, it is breaking news. When I came over here, it's the first thing that popped up. The doctors are concerned for the Queen's health and recommend that she get immediate medical supervision, the palace is saying. And so the life of Queen Elizabeth, child, they done already right below that, they have the life of Queen Elizabeth II. They won't let the woman die. They won't let the woman die. They done already come out with the life of Queen Elizabeth II. Now, under medical supervision, yes, thank you for that, Cassandra. Prayers for the Queen, prayers for the Queen's family. So, you know, at the end of the day, let's let her expire before we do all of this other that they already got going. Because baby, they got a whole photo journal put together of the life of Queen Elizabeth II, like the woman is deceased. So you know, I think you know how we do. We kill them 3 or 4 times. And while she may be gravely ill or whatever the case may be, I don't see anything that actually indicates they are releasing it as breaking. So it's all over the place. It's all over the place. But she is under doctor's care immediately. So let's give prayers for the Queen and the family. So at the end of the day, coming back to the story, they will face a day of reckoning. K2 Hoops and Rebel, I'm not ignoring you all. That you know, you got Bill Cosby, and I'm not. You know, I know y'all. This is a powder keg right here. But we got Bill out here. We got R. Kelly. But at the end of the day, we got some folk, and they might be the president of your college, the dean of your university. They might be your mayor. They might be your governor, your senator, your president. You know, they might be in all these different places that you're walking right next to them and sitting with them. But at the end of the day, I say get all of them. I say get all of them. So, you know, but don't overly punish one while other folks are walking free. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Get all of them. Be all the way across the board. If you're going to get one, get them all. If you're not going to get them all, leave them all alone. But we definitely love to make an example out of black folk. That's what I will say about that. We love to make an example out of black folk. So there you have it. I said what I said. And I know some of y'all mad, but it's just, you're in the lion's den. Yes, you old cube. Y'all know how I do it in here. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because I tells it like a Tiz. So if you're going to get Robert and if you're going to get a Bill, then please get all the other Bills and all the other Roberts that are out there too that might be just a little less melanated. Can we do that? All right. Now, so yes, a whole lot of it in Hollywood too, not your average guy, a whole lot of it in Hollywood too. And they will face a day of reckoning. I believe you, Cassandra. Come on with that. So here we go. God don't like ugly. Who is having a problem reproducing anyway? The little blue pill. Anyway, I'm gonna leave that alone. So here you go. There you go. The propaganda is strong in America. I agree with that. I agree with that completely. Not your average guy. Fake news does deserve Diablo's purposes. Come on. And it serves Diablo's purposes. So there you go. It's on CNN. It's on everywhere. So prayers going up for Queen Elizabeth II. They've been using propaganda and fake news to hide their dirty deeds for decades. Sadly, it's been awfully successful. And not your average guy. This is what I'm going to say to that. Good morning, KB Browns. Come on in here, and so much love to you. I appreciate you for being here on this fine day. That's my brother. This is what I will say to that. Not your average guy. They've been using it for years. While we loved Shonda Rhimes and Scandal when it first came out, and they utilized your girl for always spinning the narrative. And they've been doing that for years. They've been doing that same thing for years. And it's always about the narrative that we want told and how we want to put it out there. They've been doing it the whole time. I see your coffee cups. I see your coffee cups. I see your coffee cups. They've been doing it the whole time, and it's been very successful. The media has been very influential and very effective in the propaganda that gets pumped and shot out into the public for consumption. And we've been eating it hook, line, and sinker. We've been swallowing the whole thing. And Houston, there's a problem. That's why I say sometimes you got to look at a problem and a situation bigger and deeper than what's being presented. Even like I said about what's the big issue about reversing Roe v. Wade. If you're already in a replacement theory uproar, then you want every white baby that can be born into this country. And if, again, look at the statistics, and statistically, it's white women that are having the most abortions, then you understand why if it was black, they wouldn't care. You understand the words? If it was the other way, they would not care. But they need every black baby born. If it was a black child and y'all getting ready to abort it, hey, knock yourself out. The less of y'all, the better. But when you start talking about a high proportion of white women that are having abortions and we are fearing replacement theory, then we need to overturn Roe v. Wade. Y'all have to look sometime at all the facts and get it together. No matter how you look at it, he'll get a couple of years on the throne. Oh, y'all talking about, okay, y'all done put William on the throne. I done missed the turn somewhere. Charles, and come on. Y'all got me cracking up. Okay. No new thing under the sun, Cassandra. There's no new thing under the sun. So there you go. Whoever controls the message controls the minds. So there you go. Now we got the royal family is now rushing to Queen Elizabeth's side, is what they're saying. And so God bless the Queen. God bless the Queen. And God be with them all in this hour, whatever should happen. Now, Cheerings, I'm getting ready to turn the corner here. Jabez just did put out there, and I do want to mention this. If you all didn't see on yesterday where a judge ruled that they do not have to cover HIV prevention medicines, that's a whole conversation, and we may talk about that on Sunday. That's a whole conversation that needs to be had, because at the end of the day, I just that's egregious as well. But that was an overturned situation on yesterday, saying that there was a Christian company that said they did not want to provide HIV prevention drugs because they don't believe in homosexuality. It goes against God. Miss me with that. So we'll talk about that at a later date. I want to get ready to segue because I want to address some things here that were in the news as well. So let me get to this portion right here, because we keep talking about we're in the promised land. I'm going to start with this one, and then we'll go to the events of last night. I watched, if you all didn't see that dastardly, if y'all didn't see that dastardly situation that took place on last night, I just don't know. So now I really want to take up conversation with what we got going on in the black community. Now, I'm going to bring this up because this actually happened in the city that I just moved to. This is in the city that I just moved to. This, y'all see how young she looks. Y'all see them edges. Y'all see all them braids. Y'all see all the piercings. You see the eyelashes. Now I'm going somewhere, so I'm sure probably gonna make somebody real mad on this one. I'm gonna say it again. Look at those lashes. Look at the piercings. Look at the hair, the braids, because somebody paid for that. And look at all of the edges. While y'all got the stick 'em on. She's a whole child, Tall Pumps. She's a whole child. Come on, I'm gonna respond to you on that, Michelle, before I get to this story. It's crazy. HIV is not highest in homosexuality. It's highest in black women. Come on with some truth there, Michelle. And that's why I said I think I want to talk about that on Sunday because it deserves more conversation than I have time for. The edges, Crazy Bam. Look at the edges now. So, and I'm not trying to be funny, but I'm just saying I'm getting ready to turn the corner. And so hold your weave, hold your wig, because I'm talking. Mish 8, come on in here, sis. Come on in here. Good morning to you. Mish 8 is a cook and a chef out here in these Twitch streets. If you're not following her, listen, follow her right now. She's going to bless your whole life. Good morning to you, and thank you for coming in. Now, let's deal with this, y'all. Let's deal with this. Y'all see my sister, my little sister, got the look. My little sisters got the look that we got these young babies out here chasing. We got these young babies out here chasing out here, y'all. And she's a baby, obviously a baby. Now, you wouldn't give her more than 15. Now, let's talk about this. And this is in my town. Uh-oh, it's a raid, y'all. It's a raid. Come on up in here. I wasn't expecting it. Okay, Rebel, I wasn't expecting it. Hey! LaWanda Baskerville is on a solo raid this morning. Big Moochie, baby. Come on in here. She came in with the raid of 1. Miracles, signs, and wonders over your life. That's my sister. And thank you for that resub. Thank you for that resub. Thank you for that resub. Now, I love you, sis. She is a streamer, y'all. She is a streamer. So please, please, please follow her as well. If you would, she's going to bless your whole life. I promise you she would. Come on with that Kai chick. Y'all came in dancing. Y'all ready. I love it. I love it. I love it. Big Moochie, baby. Now, as I've said, and let me come back to this picture. Look at her. Now, this is the story. And this, while we're talking about all this week, we've been talking about we're in the promised land, y'all. We're in the promised land. What are we doing? We're in the promised land. So that's where we came on Tuesday. And man, we got a word. We got a gully washer up in here. It was great. Tuesday, we saw the video of the little baby that knew all the terms that needed to be known as a little person starting off. Financial understanding. I know what it means. I understand the terms. So today, that baby right there has a baby. And this is local news in my city. That baby right there has a baby. I'm not mad at her for that, y'all. Listen, it's a whole lot of us. If we got caught the first time around that we was out there carrying on, a whole lot of us would have had babies very young. You know what I'm saying? You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. I ain't got no mad, ain't got no anger, ain't got no nothing against this baby for having a baby as young as she is. Y'all see what she's down there in the caption is what her 6-year-old child said that has tested positive for cocaine, for marijuana, and benzos, and that baby has been jailed. This baby that you're looking at is in jail because her 6-year-old baby said, "Mama put me to sleep." Now, how was mama? Y'all come on and ride with me because we talking about promised land. This is some stuff we got to talk about, y'all. Now, we started off with that baby and financial literacy. We done talked about being in the promised land and our feet. We done crossed the border. We done crossed the border. And then we wake up this, and actually this was yesterday. This came out yesterday evening in the local news here that this child was jailed on yesterday because the 6-year-old baby's testimony, "Mama puts me to sleep." And she puts the 6-year-old baby to sleep with cocaine, marijuana, and benzos. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Now, we're talking about the promised land, and we're talking about doing life differently. We're not in Egypt anymore. We're not out here in the lion's den. In the desert anymore. The lion's den is crossing over into the land of promise. The lion's den is coming into a place that is flowing with milk and honey. And the lion's den wakes up to a child right here, because she's a child. She's a child. This child right here, putting her 6-year-old to sleep with cocaine, marijuana, and benzos. Now, I just want this to process in your shondo. I want this to process in your shondo. And again, I ain't trying to be ugly, but I'm going to say it again. Look at her hair. Look at the braids. Not cheap. Look at the edges. Look at the piercings. Look at the lashes. And what I see here is young folks that need direction. Young folks that need direction and focus on what really matters. Because take those braids out of your head. Take those edges off your forehead. Take those piercings out of your nose. Take those lashes off, because those things don't amount to a hill of beans. Now, you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. Those things don't amount to a hill of beans. But what are we creating in our communities? What are we creating in our children? What life, what hope, what future are we giving to the babies? I'm like this. Now, I'm looking like Tall Pump said she doesn't look to be a day over 15, Lord Jesus. And she might be one of those that's just young. I get tickled when Rebel travels with me. People think she's like a kid. I won't even put a number on it. People think Rebel's a kid because she just looks young, but she's not as young as she looks. Maybe this is a child that just looks young. At the end of the day, all I can say here is that, listen, community, we're missing the mark. We're missing the mark. This change starts in our community, not your average guy. Because I am my brother's keeper. I am my sister's keeper. And I cannot just look at this child. I cannot just talk about her 6-year-old baby who puts cocaine, marijuana and benzos in your 6-year-old child's body? Now, come on, y'all. And where is she getting this stuff from? Where is the baby's grandmother? Where is some other elder in the community? At the end of the day, listen. This is a community issue. It's not just this child's issue. It's not just this child's issue. Come on, Michelle Brown. She was wrong, but she hasn't been taught anything, especially not coping mechanisms. Come on here. And at the end of the day, I'm not about to crucify this baby, even though I said this. While we out here, what's this that the ladies are doing where y'all bodies look all distorted and out of proportion? I can't think of the name of it. Put it down in the chat. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Where their legs and their thighs and their hips look like something that I don't know. Now, if you're made that way, I love you. But I'm talking about folks are getting paid to come out look distorted. What's that called, y'all? Put it BBL. Come on. We got folks that are spending all kind of money because this is the perception that we have. Come on, the Brazilian butt life. We have this perception that all of these appearances, and I'm going to go back. And again, I'm not trying to crucify this baby. I'm just trying to get some level of understanding about what's going on in our community. And when I say our community, I mean our community. I'm including myself in this community. We have failed this child. She's somewhere here in the town. I just moved here, but you know what? I want to look this child up and find her some way, somehow. I want to find her. I want to find this child. I want to find this child's child. I want to find this child's mama, whoever's here in the city. I won't find these folk because I'm not trying to crucify this child. But I'm like, while you understand the braids in your hair and how important that is to you, you understand those edges and how important that is to you. You understand these piercings in your nose and these eyelashes because it all speaks to appearances. It all speaks to what you want to look like because it's acceptable. It all speaks to trying to be out here and be fly. Baby, there's some stuff that you need to be taught. Leave the braids alone. Leave the edges alone. Leave the lashes and the piercings alone till we can get something in your head. Looking for acceptance. Not having tools to cope and maneuver. Now, I will say this, and we, y'all, might as well tell the truth and shame the devil. I knew folk in my generation and the generation right behind me that was doing the same thing. So don't crucify this child, because I know some folk out of my age group that was giving their kids drugs to calm them down. And even though it may not have been cocaine, marijuana, and benzos, they were going out there with the cough syrup and everything else, trying to calm them children down. And they didn't have a cough and they didn't have a cold. They were using it for the purpose of putting that child halfway to sleep. Y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. So don't start crucifying this child because they possibly have taken it to another level with the cocaine, the marijuana, and the benzos. But I want everybody that done put your child to sleep with some cough syrup, get up off this child. Get up off this child. Because she's not the only one. And just because the generation may have taken it to another level, some of y'all was doing the same when the Bible talks about, and such were some of you. Don't come out crucifying this child when you know you may have done some of this same stuff. And I'm not even trying to crucify you. I'm just saying don't judge. But what I'm saying, in all instances, whether it was you or them, whether it was then or now, the reality of it is we failed the community. The community has failed to give folks coping mechanisms and tools so that they don't have to resort to this kind of behavior. Come on, Shelly Thunder. Today it's melatonin. Come on. And you think she got several tattoos, Tall Pumps. Listen, I'm not going to crucify my mama. Come on here. Y'all understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. I'm not trying to crucify anybody. I'm trying to talk to the community and say to the community, and it's not their problem. It's not her problem. It's not her mama and her family's problem. It's our problem. Am I talking to anybody in here? It's our problem. Come on. You might be in the wrong place, but y'all know how I do it in here in the Lion's Den. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because we tells it like it T-I-Z-Tis. This child did not birth out of my loins, but God is my witness. I'm going to try to find this child if she's right here in my town, especially since there are not many black people here in this community. I want to find this child and connect, because you know what? That's my child. That's my child. Listen, when I look at this baby, all I feel in my shondo, that's my child. That's my child. And that 6-year-old is my grandchild. And we ain't going out like this. Who am I talking to anybody? Come on here, one reason. A little whiskey and brandy on the baby's gum. That's my child. We're not going out like that. I'm not going to disassociate. I'm not going to discommunicate. That's my child. And baby, at the end of the day, because our community, my community, has let this child down. Am I talking to anybody? While we out here BBLing, while we out here getting braids, while we out here getting edges and lashes, while we out here getting pierced and tattooed, and some of them imitating the grown-ups that they're watching as role models. My heart is broken. Mama puts me to sleep. That child, that's tears right there to my eyes. That's tears. Mommy puts me to sleep. And that's a beautiful baby right there. And I'm talking about this mother. I ain't talking about her child. That's a beautiful baby right there. That's a beautiful baby right there. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? She was taught mish about cocaine, cannabis, and benzos. She was taught that. That's my child. And more than likely, she might be hanging with the dealers. One reason, because how do you even have access to all of that? How do you even have access to all of that? Michelle, unfortunately, taught the wrong things, and the things that were important, she didn't get that. It's so sad. Now, because this, while we still on slumbered, slept, and slobbered. We're still on slumbered, slept, and slobbered. And listen, beloved, we ain't got nobody to throw to the dogs. We ain't got nobody to throw to the dog. Just like Tall Pump said, to me, that child don't look like she's more than 15, 16 years old. We ain't got nobody to throw to the dogs. You hear me? Nobody. Nobody. We don't have one to lose. Nobody. Now, that brings me to the last story, and then we just gonna come on. Because at the end of the day, that's right. And now, what did I tell you? That's right here in Anna, Texas. Now, while we don't have anybody to cast aside, I want y'all to take a look at this situation that happened on yesterday while we slumbered, slept, and slobbered.
Oh, hell no. Put your hands behind your back. You better put your hands behind your back. No. You better get the fucking phone call. Hands behind your back.
He's asking for a phone call.
Listen, come on. Hell no. Bro, y'all got me fucked up. Y'all got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. Bro, you got me fucked up. I swear to God, you got me fucked up. Y'all gonna give me a motherfucking phone call. I ain't motherfucking down. I can't fucking breathe behind your back. You better get the fuck out of me. I can't fucking breathe. Hands behind your back. I can't fucking breathe. You better fucking give me a fucking phone call. I'll tase you again. Yeah.
Sir, please cut your phone off.
Get on your stomach.
No,
I'm not doing shit.
Please.
You can't record.
Dylan, what are your phone, okay?
Hey, bro. Get my fucking mama down here. Y'all been got me fucked up. Stop.
You want to leave? You can.
Get me the fuck out of here! I'll tell you again. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you, bitch. You got me loud.
I go guiding you.
What's up? Bitch. I'm still fucking.
Please go
Get the fuck out.
I'm asking a nice
Stop.
sir, please. You see we're dealing with this right
Yeah,
now.
let me
Please go
fuck
to the exit. I'm asking you. Can you please?
They don't allow cameras in our hospital.
Hey, I'm
You can hear they're continuing to tase him. Now, this one right here, a young LGBTQ that was taken into custody, and for some, what they said was apparently some kind of episode of stress or something that was going on in his world, and he kept asking for his phone call after they arrested him and transported him, and then they continued to tase him, continued to tase him, continued to tase him, continued to tase him. So you see this footage here where a few hours later, after they finally, and then you could hear the taser, they just kept tasing him, kept tasing him, kept tasing him, kept tasing him. They put him in solitary confinement, and a few hours later, when they went in, he was deceased. Now, how can you just calmly, you see how calmly the lady was like, you can't take pictures in here, put your camera away. They're standing there, and there were all kinds of people standing there with them. And at the end of the day, you know, whether or not you get, well, we didn't see everything that happened. We didn't see that. The first and foremost, as you see in the video, is one man against all those officers, and he was not aggressive to the point where they couldn't handle them. They didn't try to handle him, really. He wasn't armed with anything. They tased that man from the time that the officer, and notice the officers calmly talking to him, quietly talking, you know, and as the young man said, I'm entitled to a phone call. I'm entitled to a phone call. And they keep, you know, giving him the orders, put his hands behind his back, whatever the case may be. And he's like, y'all got me effed up. Y'all got me effed up. Y'all got me effed up. I'm entitled to a phone call. For those that may not have been able to understand what he was saying, I'm entitled to a phone call. And they just kept tasing him. And then when they all just, came together, and just continued right on. Good morning, Blade is Truth. So much love to you. So much love to you. So much love to you. Now you see the staff as well as other people are standing there watching this whole thing. And so as they begin to record, the lady is then trying to get them to turn their cameras off. And if you hear as the other older white lady, and they're standing there watching this obvious abuse of this young LGBTQ brother, as they're just obviously watching this abuse, she says, you're in a hospital now. You can't record in here. And LGBT or not, he has rights. He's entitled to a phone call. So at the end of the day, this burns. Let me see. You said something there. Let me come back up. Michelle, tased that many times, it probably messed with his heart. All of that electricity was flowing through him. Exactly. And they didn't care. They didn't care, Michelle. They didn't care. They just, the whole time, they just kept right on tasing him. Just kept right on tasing him. But I'm entitled to a phone call. Unbelievable. Now, the story of the night, and why am I here? And we're about to get out of here. The story of the night rests with Brother Kelly. I don't know if you actually saw the chase that took several hours yesterday live on television. If you saw the chase in Memphis, put a 1 in the chat. If you saw the chase in Memphis, put a 1 in the chat. This brother right here, I'm telling you, it was sad. Royal Confessions sent me the link as it was happening. I actually saw this brother 19 years old. 19 years old. Put a one in the chat if y'all saw this. Rebel, you saw part of it. This baby right here, 19 years old, basically said on his, let me see if I can find a picture. There he is. Said on his Facebook page, reportedly, he had nothing to live for. And at the end of the day, he got in his vehicle with a loaded weapon, 19 years old, y'all, and just drove around Memphis all evening long. It started at like 4 something in the afternoon. He drove around and didn't end until close to midnight by the time they apprehended him. He just drove around in Memphis randomly shooting and killing people while he was on Facebook. And it was reported that he typed in his chat on Facebook, "I'm so sorry, Mom. I'm so sorry, Mama. I'm so sorry." And I actually saw the first murder where he went into AutoZone and he's just rambling. He's just rambling. He walks into AutoZone and the first man that turned the corner, he said, "Hey," bam, laid him down on camera. And he is alive, den darn. They did capture him alive. They did capture him alive, which the whole time that I was watching this live unfold, the whole time I was watching this live and watching it unfold, I said to myself, he's not getting out of this alive. And I think based on what he was saying, that it appeared that he may have been trying to attempt, they call it suicide by police. Suicide by police, where you try to do something so egregiously. You saw the incident, Disco Darren. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable. That young man. Oh man, Tall Pumps. I saw about 2 hours of it. I watched about 2 hours of it. Royal Confession sent me the clip, and originally I thought she was just sending me a story. I didn't realize it was live. So when I went out there, Tall Pumps, and clicked on the link, and I saw him kill the first person, I was like, "What did I just see?" And of course, mind you, it may be taken down by now. I don't know, but I tell you what. You saw him kill the man live and in living color. You saw him kill the man. I was like, oh my God. And then he went from there and he just went from place to place to place. Disco Darren, I tell you what, the whole time that I was watching, and the more that they were chasing and trying to find where he was, and they were going through all these changes, trying to apprehend this man, the first thing that I thought, Disco Darren, he's dead. He's dead. And maybe because it was apparent that he may have been trying to commit suicide by police, they let him live. I don't know. I was shocked, stunned, and amazed that this young man was not killed in this scenario. So, come on here, Michelle Brown. You just had that here on Monday. 4 17-year-olds, 3 of them got away. Your nephew was shot, but thank God he's doing fine. Praise God for that, Michelle. Praise God for that. Man. Y'all, because we're talking about being in the promised land, y'all. But this is going on in our community. And I'm not going with the black on black crime. That's not where I am. I'm saying the community, we've got something. What makes this young man, as it was reported, to say, I have nothing to live for? Man, you only 19 and you're just getting started. What do you mean you have nothing to live for? What do you mean you have nothing to live for? I'm sorry, Mama. I'm sorry, Mama. So at the end of the day, You was 4 people shot in KC Mo. Oh my God, Michelle. Oh my God. Oh my God. It was so sad, Royal Confessions. I was telling them, when you sent me the clip originally, I thought you were just sending me a clip of something to watch of an event. I did not know it was literally live and in living color. So at the end of the day, the police let him live because other gunmen, usually white, are apprehended without incident. Come on with that, Dr. Dady. Whatever spared this young man's life, thank God, because the first thought that I had, as the longer it went on. So ultimately what they did was they started telling people everywhere. They stopped the game. There was a game going on at the stadium. They shut everything down and they told people, I don't care where you are, do not move. Because at this point, it was reported that some of the people that saw some of the following murders, and particularly, as I understood, one of the ladies was in her nursing scrubs, apparently coming from or going to her job, had her nursing scrubs on. He was acting like he was wounded in some instances, or acting like he was sick, or acting like he was hurt. And when people would walk up on him, he just shot them and killed them. And the one woman that I guess was in the scrubs, and then he got in her car and drove her car off on the next leg of the... I'm telling y'all, not your average guy. We've created this and now we're seeing the fallout from it. And I am again challenging us as a community. What are we giving to our young people? What are we giving to them? Now, I know this is extreme. I know we might say, oh, but he had a mental break and all of that. But I'm saying, even for my sister that I showed here and I'm like, in Anna, Texas, you got to be kidding me. Number one, is not that many black folk here to begin with. And then I just can't believe it. I just cannot believe it. So at the end of the day, I'm like, what are we doing? The foolishment was that the officers, police force watched for hours as well. They didn't want to kill him. We will see the highest judiciary enforcement for it. Come on here, Mish Mish. Come on here, Mish Mish. This is sad. And Michelle, I didn't know about the multiple incident in Kansas City, Missouri, which is the town I came from. And I'm so grateful that your nephew survived it and was not seriously wounded. But a mental, emotional trauma like that, that's going to be with that baby. And we're covering him in prayer. We're covering him in love, counseling, therapy, whatever else needs to happen with that. Because listen, it's more than just praying and slathering folks down with a bunch of greasy blessed oil. That baby's going to need some therapy and some counseling, because that's a trauma. That is a trauma. And we have a mentally fragile generation. This is too often the result. None of them, the police, felt scared for their lives. I see y'all talking over here. For real. I hear you. We created it. Come on here. When I worked for the Department of Juvenile Justice, I would hear our young black men say they have nothing. Oh my God. Fairly all day. They have nothing to live for. They lived in a constant state of despair and hopelessness. Now, this is overnight. Overnight. All of these stories are young people. These are our babies. And I said, you know what? We can't be shouting and bucking and spitting and speaking in tongues, talking about how happy we are in the promised land. And we just, in less than 24 hours from this moment, have seen all of these babies. These are our babies out here in hell. These babies are in hell. Come on, Disco Darren, you're talking. If he would have turned that weapon on the police officers, they would have killed him. Absolutely. This young man needs help, as many of these young men, black and white, need therapy. They need help. The village, we going on shouting hallelujah, but what's happening with our babies? Our babies out here with edges. Our babies out here with braids and lashes and piercings and tattoos. Our babies are out here BBLing. But our babies are crying. We have nothing to live for. Because I don't care what you say. That little girl that listen, my little baby, and that's what I'm going to call her. My little baby. She basically is saying and screaming and hollering, I have nothing to live for either. Ooh, y'all ain't ready for me. I have nothing to live for. And basically, my child that's 6 years old ain't got nothing to live for either. So I might as well give her some cocaine. I might as well give her some marijuana. I might as well give her some benzos. That's it. What do we have to look forward to? I just, and I'm going to stay on time today because we'll come back and we'll finish this conversation up tomorrow. Because I got more video. I want y'all to see. And Raw Confessions, thank you so much for sending that to me. Had no idea it was literally in progress as we watched. Tall Pumps. Speaking of Fairly all day, that's so true. Our young folks don't think they will live to 21. It broke your heart when your daughter told me she hopes she lives long enough to go to college. She hopes she lives long enough to go to college. This is why I'm telling you, Lion's Den, we don't have time to waste. We don't have time to lollygag and take our time and twiddle our thumbs. We don't have the time to be in retirement and I did mine. Okay, I'm cool. That's on y'all. This is going to take every resource in the village. We need the experience that you had. We need the knowledge. We need the old and the young to go forth together. We need the young men because they're strong. We need the old folks because they got the wisdom, the knowledge, and the understanding. Hopefully, we need to come together and we've got to love these babies back to life, because to hear a student, and in this instance, Tall Pumps, my heart goes out Gunny, my Fallon, she gonna see 21 and she's gonna go to college. Come on, I speak it, Tall Pumps. She's gonna see 21 and she's gonna go to college. But to hear your child say to you, I don't think I'm gonna live long enough to see college. These babies are in despair. And while we out here on our grind trying to get mine, for me, myself, and I, and mine, us four and no more, there are babies out here that are our babies. These are our babies, y'all. We cannot dismiss and divorce ourselves from them. These are our babies. In 24 hours, in less than 24 hours, these realities that I just showed you have taken place in our babies' lives. And these are not isolated incidents. And Michelle, my love and my heart and my prayers go out to your family as your nephew has to live with this trauma henceforth, now and forever. And I don't know if any of the young people were killed in that situation in Kansas City, but obviously this is something that's going on with these young people. And this is the thing that they said in Memphis, because they were saying they just had another incident not too many days ago. So is this the new reality, that these kids are just out here wilding with these guns and just shooting up And they were in some of the conversations were talking about how close behind whatever this other incident that had happened earlier in the week, how close behind it was to that now you got this baby out here. I'm gonna come back and we're going to talk about it again tomorrow, because there's some things I even want to address. Listen, at the end of the day, and let's talk about the alert system, because so many people were upset, and you can imagine the fear and the trauma that the families were in, that you didn't know if my loved one's alive. I'm talking about just the people. Once the police started telling people, you got to stay here, you can't leave, you got to shelter wherever you are, shutting down the game, that baby shut Memphis down. You understand what I'm saying? Because people were scared and frightened to move, because they didn't know allegedly where he was going to strike next. And he's just out here killing people. Boom, boom, boom. He's just out here killing people. The issue of, and one of the people in the community said they were talking to individuals, especially in the black community, where a lot of the mayhem was going on. Why is it that you can Amber Alert and everybody know with just one push of a button that a child is missing? How is it that you can weather alert that there is inclement weather, take cover, but we needed an alert that this individual was out here in our neighborhood killing folks, and we couldn't get a mass alarm like y'all do on Amber Alert? We couldn't get a mass alarm like y'all do on Weather Alert? Y'all just let this baby come out here and just kill up everybody, shoot up everybody? Oh, we need to talk, y'all. We need to talk. We need to have some conversations. We need to talk about what needs to happen, because I listened and I could feel the angst and the pain and the frustration of those individuals are talking. You mean to tell me you can Amber Alert me on a child missing and everybody gets it? You mean to tell me you can Weather Alert and everybody gets it, but you couldn't let everybody in our neighborhood know that this individual's out here shooting up people? You couldn't mass alert us on that? Y'all going around from place to place, neighborhood to neighborhood. Maybe we got the message, maybe we didn't. Oh, y'all, we got to talk. Fairly all day, we have got to turn our attention back to nurturing our babies. Come on here. Come on here. I love that. One reason you've heard that a lot on the block growing up. Come on here. Come on here. They don't know how to deal. Come on. Y'all talking over here. Yes, they would have, and it would have been justified if they had turned it on, if they had shot him and killed him. Help us. Help us. Come on. Y'all hear me talking. I see you, Dr. Dady. You enjoy your weekend too. So much love coming to you. There is a lot of life that happened to black youth early on. I understand it all too well, that nothing to live for mentality. Come on and testify. Others see it as them having the rest of their lives ahead, but they see it as life has already sucked them dry, leaving them empty and hollow. All too easy for evil to seep in when they are weighed down from trauma. And you said a mouthful right there, Blade is truth. And we got to talk about this, y'all. We got to talk about it. It's time for me to go right now, but we got to talk about it. We're going to come back and talk, because listen, we are in the promised land. It is happening. But if it's happening, these are some things we must change. These are some things that we cannot take with us over into the promised land. These are some things that we must address lest it continue on. Come on, Mish Mish. You feel like we are having taught our babies to value money and materialistic things. We have taught them to love for themselves or family or friends. Once they realize money can't fix the problem, then here we are. We don't booster their dreams. Oh my God. There you go. And we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that. Roll confessions. Your sister lives in Memphis, was on the phone with her until she made it home safely. Roll confessions. I'm so glad you were able to do that. And many of the people in the aftermath were coming back and talking about how traumatized they were because of trying to connect with somebody to make sure they're able to get to their place of destination safely with this individual out shooting and killing. Or even the fear and the anxiety. Is my loved one okay? And especially for those that weren't able to make an immediate connection right away for whatever reason. And even as was said, even in this instance, like they said, your phone goes off and the alarm alerts you on Amber Alert. The alarm alerts you on weather. Why couldn't they have not been alerted to know? I don't care if you're in a meeting. If everybody's in a meeting and the alarm's going off, then you know, hey, something's up. I need to answer my phone and my loved ones are concerned. I'm telling you, there's so many things here that need to be unpacked. So many things here that need to be talked about. I know it did. You walked around heartbroken for days when you heard a 15-year-old tell me he just wanted to die fairly because he's not going to live anyway. We got work to do, y'all. This is why it's happening. This is why you tell your son that he is loved, needed, and appreciated in the disco household. That's what I'm talking about. They need to hear that at home, and they need to hear it other places too, especially if they're not getting it at home. I was talking about this the other day for our LGBTQ plus community, that families don't have any better sense to disown and disconnect from their loved ones as if they're not human beings. Baby, you don't disconnect. But I said to someone, I said, listen, even if the family has disowned them, we don't have to disown them. You got a family over here. Even if your family, you LGBTQ, get out of my house. I have no parts of you. Even if that's what they get from home, it should come from home. But if they're not going to get it from home, community, where we at? Because you got a family over here. You're not out here without family. You're not out here hopeless and helpless. You got a family. Even if your blood kin doesn't have enough sense to stay connected and love you for the human being you are, if they can't understand that, what you're not going to be is out here unloved, unwanted, and without a family. That's what's not, like Fairly All Day told me the other day, what's not going to happen. What's not going to happen is you're not going to be out here on these streets like you don't have a family. Because you got a community. Am I talking to anybody? Ooh, I'm telling you, the demand for racism actually exceeds the supply. I know that this won't sit well, but it's true. So sad to see the isolated incidents create a false narrative. Okay, I have to look at that because I'm not exactly sure what that. Let me go back and read that when I'm not rushing. Michelle, 2 people were killed in the incident with your nephew. My heart, my condolences go out to them. My heart, my condolences. The one that got caught was on live talking about he was chased by the police, but they couldn't catch him. Y'all, this is real talk. This is real talk. This is real talk. This is real talk, y'all. This is real talk. And we're going to come back and we're going to complete it on tomorrow because it's happening. It's happening. It's happening. But we got to deal with it. White Americans shouldn't be the main ones telling our Black American children they're needed, loved, and appreciated. It needs to come from home. And I agree. Come on with that disco, Darren, all day long. The female jogger was raped and killed in Memphis. Listen, we got some things going on in Memphis, but we got some things going on everywhere. There's so much going on. Main man, I see you. Come on in here. T. Summers, thank you for those. I showed your the things that you shared with us in News for Views. I showed that earlier. Thank you for those, and I appreciate you. Thank you for giving us things to share and talk about in here. And that was totally unnecessary to kill. I agree, Disco Darren. That was totally unnecessary. I'm all for nurturing our babies, but sometimes the babies don't want to listen. And I hear that, KB Browns, but listen, the babies don't want to listen because we got to go back and figure out, where did the breakdown occur? Babies are not listening because something, and I agree with personal accountability, but I'm going to say this. Babies didn't just come here and I don't want to listen to nobody. Babies came here and some stuff happened in their life that made them say, I don't want to listen to nobody. Even if parents nurtured from the beginning that they didn't have to listen to nobody. Hear me when I say that. And y'all can be mad at me in here about that. Some of y'all parents don't make those babies listen to you. Then when that child gets to be at an age where you want them to listen to you and they won't listen to you no more, that's the way you started them. They didn't just suddenly go into terrible twos and they wasn't listening. They wasn't listening at 1 and earlier. They wasn't listening at 4, 5, 6. They wasn't listening at 10, 11, 12. And when y'all thought it was cute and y'all were laughing and you were letting them have their way and letting them do what they wanted to do, then when you came back around and wanted them to listen to you, they're not listening to you anymore. Too late. You didn't establish that relationship early enough on in the process. Now, that may happen where every now and then you have an anomaly where a child just has a defiant personality, but more times than not, that's not the situation. More times than not, those children have not been relational. Those children have not been corralled and taught. Those children have not been dealt with appropriately early on. Then when you get to an age where you try to corral them and they're not listening to you, you get to that point where they ain't paying you no attention and your word means absolutely nothing. When you get to that point, then you say, I got a wayward, rebellious child. Well, they've been wayward and rebellious the whole time. You just thought it was cute and funny before, but it was never cute and it was never funny. Good morning, Yurdy girl. Come on in here. Come on in here. I hear your roll confessions. You're going to Memphis tomorrow for the weekend. Come through. Come through. And it's heartbreaking fairly all day. It's heartbreaking. That's why you live on in your young people. We got to all do that fairly. We got to do that. Even the ones that present challenging behavior. We don't have anybody to throw away. We don't have anybody to throw away. Come on, Yurdy. So much love to you. At 15 years old, harming myself was the last thing on my mind. Well, I'm going to tell you the opposite for me, and I was raised in a good Christian home. At 15 years old, I was already suicidal, but folks didn't know it because I talked, I laughed, I played, I did a whole lot of things. I was intelligent, I was good in school, but I was already suicidal because I'd already experienced life, as somebody said earlier, and I was already traumatized. So many times our children are right there in our homes and we don't know what our own children are going through. I said what I said. And I said and meant what I said. So I bless God that at 15, you weren't thinking about harming yourself, but at 15, I was. And I came from a good, upstanding, happy-go-lucky, God-fearing family where I did not get abused in the home. So at the end of the day, but this is what we got to deal with. If we don't have relationship where children can feel like they can talk, if we don't have relationship where children can come to us and say what they need to talk about, if we don't have relationship and respect is earned, respect is earned. So we're not going to do this. You respect me because I'm your this or that and you owe me your respect. Respect is earned. And if I can't talk to you, I'm going to carry whatever demons and devils are going on in my life, not because I got a demon, but because somebody did something to me that I couldn't talk to anybody about because there was no outlet provided. There was no relationship existent. There were so many things that were missing for a healthy emotional situation. And some of y'all's children, I promise you, they may be making excellent grades. I made straight A's all through my schooling. I made nothing but good grades. I was happy-go-lucky. I would laugh. I would joke. I did all of this. But at the end of the day, I was troubled. Y'all ain't gonna buy what I'm selling. And just because your child looks like everything is well, if you don't have a relationship where you can talk to your children and your children, listen, let's make this thing clear. Not just you talking to and at your children need to be able to talk to you. Shut up and listen. Did I say something right there? This is Yes You O Cubed. One-on-one, just me and you. You know how we do it in here. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because I tells it like it T-I-Z-Tis. Some of these know-it-all parents need to shut up and listen to your child. They have something to say if you would just shut up. They have something to say if they knew they wasn't going to get a beating and a whooping. They have something to say if they knew it was a safe enough environment to talk about what's really going on in their world. And I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. Woo! Come on, y'all. I'm talking real talk in here today. I'm talking real talk in here today. Just because you got a middle income household, just because your bills are paid and y'all ain't hungry and you got food on the table, that does not mean that you're providing a healthy, wholesome mental environment for your children. Because there's more to life than that. Woo. Now, you hit me with that. I had to tell the truth and shame the devil because you hit me with that. And that's what some middle class and even some other classes of families need to understand. There's so much more that your children need than a roof over their head, food on the table, and clothes on their back. They need relationship with their mama and their daddy, and their sisters and their brothers. Am I talking to anybody? Ooh, come on, come on, come on. Come on, T, you agree on the alert system? Let me come on down because I got to shut this down. One reason I see you. Main man, stop listening because of the messed up behaviors they see around. Listen, and main man, you said some of those babies, that is why they stop, because do as I say, not as I do. These young folks are like, no, don't tell me do as I say, not as I do, because I see you jacked up. I'm going to do what you do. And you stop doing your jacked up behavior before you tell me to stop. How about that? You got to practice what you preach. Ooh, come on. I don't believe in beating kids, not your average guy. So I'm not going to embrace that in here. Spare the rod, spoil the child. I don't believe in that. And I feel like a lot of y'all out here beating your kids and spanking them is why your child is not talking to you and never will talk to you. And I say this many, many times with no disrespect to you. We can agree to disagree on this point, but I don't believe in spanking your children because I got spanked. Don't believe I didn't get spanked, but that spanking didn't help me in my emotional dilemmas. And that spanking did not cause me to open my mouth and say something when I needed to talk. That spanking made me clam up. And while y'all out here beating these kids, y'all need to have relationship. And some of y'all spanking your kids because you mad. And if you're spanking and disciplining your child from your anger, you are wrong. And I said what I said. Come on, Shelly Thunder. When it's no longer cute, it's past too late. It's past too late. You think your 6-year-old has ODD? Shake it. Listen, and at the end of the day, deal with the reality, deal with the facts. And that's what many times does not happen in our homes. We don't deal with the facts. And I'm going to tell you once more and again, you can't beat issues out of your children. You can't beat scenarios that are going on in your child's life. I'm already, can I say this and I'm up? I'm out of here. I'm trying to quit. If I'm already dealing, let me tell you, if I'm already dealing with the fact that I've been sexually traumatized and you come with your religious self talking about you ain't going to spoil the child because you got the rod. If I'm already dealing with the fact that I'm sexually traumatized, I can't talk to you because it's not a conversation that we can have. And then I start acting out and you start beating me. You explain it to me, Lucy. Explain it to. How is that helping me? You beating me. How is that helping me? You're whooping me. How is that helping me? That's helping you get your frustration out. That's helping you drive your authoritarian agenda. That's helping you. But how is that helping me? Maybe, just maybe, you need to stop and ask me first, baby, what's going on? Maybe that's where we need to stop. And y'all put them dadgum rods down. Y'all beating everybody. Beat yourself. Beat yourself. I've already been abused. I don't need you beating me in the name of Jesus. listen, at the end of the day, I want us to come to a point where we understand correction is not always what's needed. And when I say beating, my parents did not abuse me, beat me. They gave me beating like most black folk got. Y'all know how we got beatings. We wasn't out there, somebody got a black eye and I need to go to the hospital with broken bones. And no, it ain't that kind of party. It wasn't that kind of beating. I'm still saying at the end of the day, there are other ways and other addresses that we need to come to so we can deal with our situations so that we can understand what's going on in our children's lives. They're going through something, and sometimes they're going through stuff you don't even know they're going through. You don't even know that they're going through or have gone through what they got going on in their world because we're disconnected. And you disciplining me and you correcting me when you don't even know what's going on with me is backwards. I said what I said. I said what I said. And you know why I said what I said? Experience taught me. Experience taught me. Experience. This is experience talking. And I don't care, even nice, pleasant correction. If you don't know why I did what I did and you don't understand the pain and the trauma that I'm in, if you don't care enough to know me and see me and understand me, but you trying to correct me and fix me, miss me with that. Miss me with that. Now, this is yes, you, oh, Cube. Y'all don't have to agree with me. You don't have to agree with me. So at the end of the day, you know, this is one of those places where we can walk hand in hand without seeing eye to eye. But I promise you, I'm going to tell you from the experience of somebody that was suicidal on a regular basis. I'm going to tell you from the experience of somebody that was raised in a very good Christian spiritual home. I'm going to tell you from the perspective of somebody that had all of it on the go and really on the ball from everybody else's perspective on the outside looking in. But me from the inside looking out, I was ready to die. And we got to address that. We've got to address that. And it wasn't because I just came here mentally jacked up. Trauma. It was from trauma. Unaddressed trauma. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? It was from unaddressed trauma. Woo! Come on. Well, you know what? I want y'all, the thing I want us to develop, relationship. That's what I've taught and shifted up as far as ministry. I begin to understand. You go to church and there's no relationship. Some of y'all know I'm telling the truth. You go to church, there's no relationship. You go on your job, there's no relationship. You come home, there's no relationship. You go to your family, there's no relationship. You got mama and daddy, but there's no relationship. I'm talking about real intimate. We can talk to each other and know what's going on in each other's world. Now, that's what I'm talking about. There's no relationship. We have so much that goes on where we do not know one another because there's no relationship. And I'm going to tell you this, and I really am out of here this time. That's what these kids are looking for. That's why they go out and do the things and affiliate with the folks that they affiliate. They're looking for a relationship. They are looking for relationship. They are looking for relationship. And you can say, but I gave them relationship. But if it's not meeting the need and what they're looking for, they're going to keep searching and looking and trying to find it everywhere else. And eventually they come to this point where, as Fairly All Day said, they come out saying, I ain't got nothing to live for. I have nothing to live for. So, and at the end of the day, I thank God for my journey. As old folks say, I wouldn't take nothing for my journey now. There were some days I hated it. Why does this have to be my life? I hate it here. I hate it here. That's why I was suicidal. I hate it here. I'm the life of the party, but I hate it here. I'm telling you, I'm talking what God loves. I'm being transparent with you right now. So this is where and why my goal in what I do and the way I do it is about being relational, about relationship. Because when all is said and done, that house don't mean a thing. That job doesn't mean a thing. That career doesn't mean a thing. All of the people swarming around you doesn't mean a thing. All of the likes in social media doesn't mean a thing. Being BBL doesn't mean a thing. Y'all understand what I'm saying? Getting the weave and getting all of the edges, getting the eyelashes and the piercings and the tattoos. It doesn't mean a thing for acceptance from the people if at the end of the day, I'm in a room full of people and I'm still alone. Do you understand what I'm saying? Because what people want and what means something is relationship. And when you don't have relationship, when you can't find relationship, what is the point? That's why the preacher in Ecclesiastes said, vanity, vanity, all of this is vanity. I got all the money in the world. I got all the palaces. I got all the women I want. I got all the servants. I got all the oxen, the cattle, the gold, the silver. And at the end of the day, when I look around, vanity, vanity, all of this is vanity. Folk want relationships. If we don't have relationship, what's the point? Somebody said that. If you don't have relationship, what's the point, Yurdy? And I'm saying, as we get out of here, take an assessment. Is the relationship that you have really the relationship that you think you have? Or let me say, is the relationship you think you have really the relationship that you have? We'd like to think it's better than that, but is that really the relationship that you have? If the rubber were to meet the road, if your child needed to come and talk to you, would they come? If you needed to go and talk, some of y'all know full well you ain't talking to nobody. I'll talk to my therapist, but I ain't gonna talk to you. I'll talk to my counselor, but I'm not gonna talk to you. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. There's a reason. And it's not, please understand, I'm not knocking the therapist. I'm not knocking the counselor. I'm not knocking your pastor. But people are going where they feel like they can talk. And more times than not, it's not to you. Now that's truth right there. I'm going to say it once more and again. People are going where they feel like they can talk. People are going where they feel like they can be transparent. People are going where they feel like they can be 100 and they're not coming to you. You know how I know? Because they come to me. You know how I know? Because they come to me. And everything they can't tell you. And many times, not because they don't want to, some of these kids are coming to me and they're dying to tell their parents what they're telling me, but they can't talk to you because it ain't that kind of party and it's not that kind of environment. Y'all need to rethink it. Y'all need to rethink it. Y'all need to rethink it. Mike City, Mike City. Good to see you in the room, my brother. Good to see you in the room. And KB Browns, I'm with personal accountability, and I take all the personal accountability for myself that you want to. I take it all. But at the end of the day, some of y'all parents need to admit y'all jacked up. Now, there's no manual that comes with it. I get it. But sometimes your kids ain't coming to you because it's not the kind of environment that you're. So listen, just same way, and I'm going to say this and we're going to let it go. The same way You want these children to have personal accountability. I want you parents to have that same energy on personal accountability, because some of y'all need to really stop and look at your parenting style, your skills, your tools, and have some personal accountability and acknowledge you did not give that child what they needed. You know how I feel about spanking. It's a slave mentality. I hear you. You love my parents and you think they did what they thought was good for me, but I still got some stuff going on from your childhood. That's a whole bunch of us, main man. You never beat your children. Don't get it twisted. The rod doesn't have to be a beating. But Carrie, I understand that too. I said correction, not your average guy. I said correction. I'm glad you stayed. I thought you were leaving. I'm glad you stayed. I said correction. I didn't say beating. So I'm not twisted on that point, and I'm carrying on. I didn't say beaten. I said correction. And there's a difference. I agree. But at the end of the day, when I'm talking about it, I'm basically saying when you deal with correction and you're correcting a child, but you don't know what the child is going through, there's an issue. Don't correct me when you don't even know what's going on in my world. I'm going to resent you for correcting me instead of taking the time to find out what's going on with me. Learned way more when your parents' grandchildren would talk me through the situation rather than beating/correcting. Let's put correcting in there for not your average guy, because we're not just talking about beating children, even though some of y'all do. I'm talking about correction, and I'm going to take that point till my grave. Some of y'all correcting folk when you need to find out what is the issue. And you learned that beating the child would only make them fight more, and you told the truth in that. When a child acts out, most of the time it's a deeper issue and their behavior is a cry for help. And I can attest to that, Shelly Thunder, but folks don't want to hear that. When your child is acting out, why are you acting out, baby? Why are you acting out? And it may take some energy. And the thing of it is, a lot of times people don't want to take the energy and the effort to figure out, why is my child acting out? I'm too busy trying to correct and corral that behavior. But why is the behavior here in the beginning? Get to the root. Get to the root. You're not to the root of the system yet. You're just responding to the grass and the blade you see growing on top. But you need to get to the root of the matter. Take the time. And if you don't have the tools, get some professional tools. Okay, J Trey, I'm going to get some. Thank you. If you don't have the tools, bring in some professionals. And if you need to, you may need to go get some professional training to give you some tools to help equip yourself. Because I'm going to tell you what, there are times I appreciate my therapist. I appreciate my counselors. I appreciate all of that. But there are certain things I wish I could have talked to my family about. But that's not the scenario. That's not the environment. That's not the safe place. So yes, while I'm getting the tools on how to repair my life, please understand, y'all saying go to therapy is not the pass off this child to the next person. That child still wants to talk to their mother. That child still wants to talk to their father. The therapist is there to give you the opportunity to talk and help you work through some of that baggage. But at the end of the day, I still want my mama, my daddy, my sister, my brother, whatever the case may be. It's not a replacement by saying go to therapy. What do we need to do so everybody can get tools to relate to one another? Am I talking to anybody? Ooh, come on, come on, come on. We have changed our perspective on how black families started back then to now. Every is trauma, but at the same time, we make some of these decisions that make us act out. Come on here. I hear you, Mish. I hear you. You agree that kids are looking for a relationship, but some of these knuckleheads are just plain evil. I don't believe that God gave you demon seed, KB Browns. And I do say, when I said earlier, sometimes it does seem to be an anomaly. Sometimes. But I'd say even if you could get to the root of that, something happened. Some of these kids been fondled with when they were not even able to walk and talk. And I've seen it. So they didn't just come here pure evil. Auntie and uncle was tampering and tinkering with body parts before, and it ain't just about molestation of the physical body. Some have been molested mentally, emotionally, psychologically. There's all kind of ways to abuse a child. And some of it started very early on. They didn't just come here demon seed. I don't believe that. I don't believe they came here demon seed. So, there we go, y'all. If we don't have relationship, Birdie, I see you keep saying that. What's the point? And that's me all day long. Relationship is vital, but so is personal accountability. I got your accountability number, KB Browns. I got your personal accountability. I love it. And stand your ground, my brother. Stand your ground on personal accountability. Stand on your ground. I appreciate you. So at the end of the day, I love y'all. I'm coming on down. Correct the action, not the feeling. Come on, Mish. Correct the action and not the feeling. You had it growing up, right up until you were 14. Main man, it's hard to correct when you don't know what you're correcting. Now, that's all I'm trying to say right there in a nutshell, main man. How you going to correct when you don't even know what you're correcting? It could be deeper than that. And I keep saying, blades on top, you responding and reacting to what you see on top. Is that really the root cause? So come on with that. J Trey, you just start the conversation as a teacher. What are you trying to tell? I love that, J Trey. I love that. And this is the thing about J Trey. I love that. What are you trying to tell me? Listen, and I mean this with all sincerity of heart. Sometimes if you just open the door for the babies to talk, they will spill their guts, but they don't even get an opportunity to talk. But something as simple as what J Trey said, what are you trying to tell me? And then listen, not listen to answer, but listen to what they're saying. Because even in what they're saying, there still might be something that they're not saying that needs to be talked about. Are y'all hearing me? Michelle, and then give them the opportunity to correct or say what they meant. Come through with that. Y'all giving some good information in here. But behavior is a form of telling a message. And you are so true. Look, Cain had Adam and Eve, and Lucifer had God and Jesus in them. John Studios is a streamer. He's in here, y'all. So much love to you, my brother. He is a streamer. Please follow him. He will bless your life. I love you, man. They have to be given the opportunity to explain or walk it back. Jay, Trey, Michelle, listen, y'all talking what I'm talking up in here. I got you, KB Browns. Accountability, that's your word for the day. I'm gonna let you hold it near and dear to your heart. Go on with it. I love it. Let accountability be all down in your shondo. I ain't mad at you, sir. You've been talking to your mom like, what are you really getting at, ma'am? Come on here, Yurdy. And that's how conversations begin. That's how conversations begin. And conversations are the beginning of real relationship. Y'all hear me? Conversations are the beginnings to real relationship. Fairly all day, they will open up like running water. They just need us to listen sometimes. Woo. And you said a mouthful. The first person that finally gave me an opportunity to talk. And I'm going to say this about my cousin Linda. I love her. That's why I say y'all talk about whatever, as far as family. My cousin Linda was a little bit older than I am. And that's why we have such a special relationship to this day. And people don't understand it. People can't wrap their brain around it. Well, what is it with her about Linda? Linda was the first person that just came to me and let me talk about what was on my mind. And baby, she ain't said nothing but a word. We had a family reunion and I was young. We're at a family reunion and we're walking around up in the Joe, just she and I walking around up in the Joe. And she had enough foresight and she had enough connection to know something is not feeling good. What do you want to talk about? And like Fairly All Day said, all you got to do is open the door and baby just start running like running water. Like running water. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Just running water. And then secondly, the thing that I have to say, and she has no idea that I'm saying this today, and I've never talked to people about it. It just is what it is. But at the end of the day, when you get somebody that you can talk to and trust, she ain't never, ever repeated nothing that I said to her in private. I ain't never heard it come back to me, ever. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Now, she may talk about a lot of things and she may say a lot of this and that and the other, but the stuff that I told her in confidence, she ain't never repeated none of it. I'm telling you. But I promise you, just like Fairly All Day said, if you let them talk, they will open up like running water. Because it's been building up all that time and they've been wanting to let somebody let them let it out. And your correction is not the answer. I'm just saying. So, I'm just trying to tell y'all, I've lived this thing. Best parents in the world. And I tell you what, like I said, nobody else could have raised me. Nobody else could have raised me. Nobody. And I thank God for that. But at the end of the day, when it comes to us really addressing, and let me say this, before my mother passed away, we had excellent conversation, excellent relationship where we were able to talk about real stuff, for real, and mend some things. That's the blessing that God gave to me. That's such a blessing. We were able to talk about for real stuff. Because by then I'd already said it and I'd already rehearsed it and I was able to tell it and share it. And she was ready to receive it and ready to hear it. Oh, that's a beautiful thing. She was able to apologize and I was able to apologize and we were able to apologize to one another. Y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. And build relationship. Am I making sense up in here? And that's when the relationship started. Even though she had been my mother and I had been her daughter all these years. And I'm just trying to get y'all to understand. And I'm going to close it with this. He that has an ear to hear and she that has an ear to hear, let him say what the Spirit is saying to the church. And if this ain't for your spirit, pass it on by. But for those that can embrace what I just shared on today, take it and watch it transform your relationships. I promise you, it will do it. And with that, y'all, and with KB Brown's accountability, we out of here.
Oh, I feel for my brother.
Well, I feel for my brother and I feel for my sister. I feel for y'all. I really do. I feel for you. I feel for these young people that we saw on today. And I feel like they are still a part of our community and they still need us. They're still a part of our community and they still need us. Now, this has been another edition of Yes You OQ, one-on-one, just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I appreciate you for joining me on today. I appreciate you for hanging in here with me, even though we done ran over again. Listen, we gotta get some stuff together because we in the promised land, but we're not trying to recreate what we came from. We're not trying to build another Egypt. We're not trying to build another desert. We are trying and going to cross over. We already have crossed over. We're gonna build a new life in a land flowing with milk and honey in the land of promise. We are here. It's happening. We're not the in crowd. We're the in crowd because it's happening. Now, this is how we do it up in here, up in here. Come on, KB Browns, not another hour. Not another hour. I've already got you 42 minutes over the time, but I appreciate you for hanging in here with me. Now, listen. I want y'all to follow me, and we're going to come back tomorrow. We're going to come back tomorrow and talk. Follow me on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, Discord, Anchor, and more. Follow me, y'all, because I'm out there. And you know what our mantra is. I don't have a spirit of fear. I don't have a spirit of intimidation. I got power. I got love. I got a sound mind. You know my mantra. I am all powerful in love. Anytime I'm dealing in love, I can do that thing. We're not just talking about change. We want to be the change that we want to see. And at the end of the day, it's us, you, me, we all. And that's the way we getting out of here on this day. This is not the den of iniquity. This is the den of activity. Thank you for those that rode all the way to the end. Thank you for those that came from the raid train with one reason. I appreciate y'all. The den of activity, Michelle Brownell, the Rebel Inc., and Shelly Thunder. Those beautiful moderators, they're my babies. Thank you for the resubs and the re-ups, LaWanda Baskerville, Main Man 68. So much mad love to you. Listen, LaWanda Baskerville and that one woman raid, thank you so much. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Same bat time, same bat channel. Yes, you O Cube. Do what you love what you do, and peace for your journey.
Oh, I feel for my brother. You're my brother.